Hello. Welcome to U.S. Immigration Updates. U.S. Senator Alex Padilla has filed new legislation to broaden the lawful pathway to citizenship for millions of long-term U.S. residents, marking a huge step towards immigration reform. The Immigration Act of 1929's renewing immigration provisions seek to amend the current Registration Act in a way that is greatly needed and gives those who have contributed to the country for many years the opportunity to become lawful permanent residents. In this video, we will discuss how Padilla-sponsored legislation to widen the legal path to citizenship. If you are interested in any of these topics, please stick around till the end of this video for your immigration updates. If you are liking this video, please hit the subscribe button where you like this video and click the bell icon so that you can instantly receive any new updates right on your YouTube homepage on your smartphone or smart device. Now let's get into the video and discuss it further. Senator Alex Padilla sponsored legislation to give millions of long-term U.S. citizens a road to permanency. The renewing immigration provisions of the Immigration Act of 1999 would update the registry statute to allow immigrant applicants of good moral character who have lived in the U.S. for at least 7 years to apply for lawful permanent resident status. The bill is co-sponsored by Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Dick Durbin, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren. Ben Ray Lujang and Cory Booker House Representative Zoe Lofgren introduced companion legislation. More than 8 million people, including Dreamers, forcibly displaced citizens, TP holders, children of long-term visa holders, essential workers, and highly skilled workers like H-1 visa holders who have been waiting years for a green card, would benefit from the legislation. Some U.S. estimates indicate that if the illegal individual covered by this measure became a citizen, Senator Padilla said America's outdated immigration system hurts many and slows our economy. My measure would revise the register cutoff date for the first time in 37 years to allow more immigrants to seek for permanent residency. Those millions of immigrants, some of whom have lived, worked, and contributed to the U.S. for decades, might live freely without fear of the future would have a major impact. Our immigration system is faulty and has prevented many long-term U.S. residents from becoming citizens. Senator Durbin said outdated laws cannot govern immigration policy. After 7 years and high moral character, immigrants could become lawful permanent residents under this bill. Updating the registration statute would provide immigrants who have worked and contributed to our country for over a decade the assurance and stability everyone deserves. Senator Warren noted that 1 million immigrants have contributed to the U.S. but are turned away by a dysfunctional system. Expanding the registry pathway to citizenship for long-term residents will give them stability and opportunity. Our society benefits from immigrants. Our immigration system keeps many lives in limbo and hinders unauthorized people from working. Which is why I'm delighted to join my colleagues in reintroducing this measure to update the register cutoff date for the first time in 35 years, allowing millions of immigrants to modify their status and realize their full potential. Representative Zoe Lofgren said immigrants who contribute to our communities and economy have been in legal limbo for decades. While radical MAGA Republicans make dozens of visits to the border and perform other political stunts, my colleagues and I are reintroducing this common-sense registry legislation, which is simply an update of the original statute. As our 70th Congress predecessors realized, providing stability to good character, long-term residence is beneficial for America. Updating this bipartisan measure to award lawful permanent resident status to qualified immigrants who have lived in our communities for years will strengthen our nation. The registry, or Section 249 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, allows the Secretary of Homeland Security to register some persons for lawful permanent resident status provided they have been in the country for a specific time and meet other standards. Congress has amended Section 249 4 times since 1929. Most recently in 1986 under Reagan. Since 1986, eligibility has been cut off at January 1, 1972, more than 50 years ago. 29 would alter the registry statute by changing the eligibility QTOF date to allow immigrants to apply for lawful permanent resident status after 7 years in the U.S. 2. Rolling the eligibility cutoff instead of tying it to a date will avoid congressional action. Nearly 40 years since our last big immigration law change. Angelica Salas, Shirley, Executive Director, praised Senators Padilla, Durbin, Warren, Lujang Sanders, and Booker for moving Congress to update the registry, an immigration law that could allow millions of immigrants to become permanent residents. With TPs under constant threat from DACA on life support and millions of farm workers, essential workers, and countless contributing members of our society still living without legal status for decades, We call on Congress to update the registry now and with a strong bipartisan vote, as with the last 4 updates since 1929. I've lived in the U.S. for 34 years, worked in dozens of businesses, and raised my children and grandchildren here. Finally, I belong, am recognized, and matter, remarked Andre Guadarrama, chair for 19 years. I have TPs from Nepal and have lived here for 35 years. For over half my life, I pursued the American dream. I toiled, did odd jobs, earned college degrees, and created my life and family in this nation. TPs have allowed me to live and work lawfully in this nation for 8 years. Because tips are transitory, I worry that our right to live and work in this country could be taken away at any time. Despite our efforts to help our families and communities, we have been mistreated and refused permanent residency for years. Our only humane and feasible solution is the Registry Bill's Citizenship Road. Anil Shahit Teepees holder from Nepal or with Adhikar Communities United for Status Protection demanded that the Kinks enact the registration bill. The best option for Americans and immigrants is this measure. Jung Woo Kim's directorship is acclaimed. The immigration system is outmoded, ineffective, and unable to adapt to the changing world, leaving millions in fear, uncertainty, and danger. Unable to provide country's basic necessities. Simple registry date updates help the U.S. immigration system fulfill present and future needs of immigrants, Americans, and world residents. Everyone deserves to live safely, fully, and with loved ones. Instead of policies that divide families and divide our communities, we need lasting solutions that allow immigrants without citizenship protection to seek safety and a better life for themselves and their families. Senator Padilla has seen immigrants' huge contributions to our communities and economy. First Latino to chair Senate Judiciary Committee's Immigration, Citizenship, and Border Safety Subcommittee. He is promoting immigration reform and citizenship for immigrants. Padilla presented a bill this year to give immigrant vital workers who braved the COVID-19 outbreak a road to citizenship. Padilla leads a bipartisan plan to give documented dreamers, children of long-term visa holders who may be deported after 21 without a green card, a road to citizenship. Padilla's immigration reform drive is highlighted by the update of the 1929 Immigration Act. If passed, this measure might help over 8 million long-term residents ensure a better future in the U.S. The U.S. Senator and his friend Lahan renewed the Inmate Act of 1929's immigration provisions to give approximately 8 million long-term U.S. citizens a road to permanency. The bill would update the registry's statute to allow immigrants with excellent moral character to apply for lawful permanent resident status after living in the U.S. for at least 7 years. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, and Ben Ray Lohan support the bill. Representative Zalafran introduced companion legislation in the House. Dreamers, TPS holders, children of long-term visa holders, critical workers, and highly qualified workers like H-1B visa holders waiting are covered by the proposed reforms. Modernizing immigration policies gives longtime U.S. contributors stability. It gives clarity and ability by amending the registry statute, which has not changed since 1986. The bill would roll over the qualifying cutoff date, eliminating the need for congressional action. Section 249 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, Registry, has a January 1, 1972 cutoff. After 7 years in the U.S., renters would qualify for permanent residency under the proposed reforms. The bill has support from advocacy groups that recognize the need for an update to the immigration system to help long-term residents. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. I hope you found this video useful. We will continue to keep a close eye on the developments as immigration-related updates and will publish new videos when there are more updates. The U.S. Immigration Update channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. Thank you for visiting us today, and we'll see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe channel for more U.S. immigration update videos.